Yo, what up, guys? How you doing? Because of the lot of weird stuff that's been happening in the tech space, I'm starting to go down this journey where I want to see how these politicians can help regulate and what type of questions they'll be asking these tech people. Today we'll be checking out AOC, so you won't take down lies. AOC challenges Facebook CEO. Let's get into it.
Did you personally first become aware of Cambridge Analytica?
I'm not sure of the exact time, but it was probably around the time when it became public. I think it was around March of 2018. I could be wrong, though.
Mm-hmm. When did Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg become aware of Cambridge Analytica?
I don't know off the top of my head.
You don't know. Did anyone on your leadership team know about Cambridge Analytica prior to the initial report by The Guardian on December 11th, 2015?
Congresswoman, I believe so, and that some folks were tracking it internally.
And
I actually, as you're asking this, I do think I was aware of Cambridge Analytica as an entity earlier. I don't know if I was tracking how they were using Facebook specifically.
when was the issue discussed with your board member, Peter Thiel?
Congresswoman, I don't know that off the
You don't know. This was the largest data scandal with respect to your company that had catastrophic impacts on the 2016 election. You don't know?
Well, Congresswoman, I'm sure we discussed it after we were aware of what happened.
Okay. You announced recently that the official policy of Facebook now allows politicians to pay to spread disinformation in 2020 elections and in the future. So I just want to know how far I can push this in the next year. Under your policy, using census data as well, could I pay to target predominantly Black zip codes and advertise them the incorrect election date?
No, Congresswoman, you couldn't. We have, even for these policies around the newsworthiness of content that politicians say and the general principle that I believe that.
But you said you're not going to fact check my ads.
We have.
I think this question that she's asking, it's putting Facebook. I think I understand. The questions she was asking are valid questions from a political perspective. Like if you were to ask a question, do you think that I can pay Facebook for misinformation? The challenge is you have to understand what Facebook is. And I don't know how Mark's going to answer, but you have to understand what Facebook is. Facebook is a marketplace where people come. So it's social media, right? Where people just come in, flock in, and do whatever they do. They connect in any way. And then how Facebook used to make money was people would advertise. So when you're advertising, you can advertise anything. And then I don't think it was in Facebook's best interest to fact check what's being advertised, because that's the free market. You can say whatever you want to say. If you're willing to pay X amount of dollars, you can do that. And then her question is valid. Can I target Black zip codes and being like, give you the wrong date and advertise? But I think it's I don't know like how far-fetched that would be, because obviously there'll be other avenues of information that will tell people when an election is happening. Like, come on now.
If anyone, including a politician, is saying things that that is calling for violence or could risk imminent physical harm or voter or census suppression when we roll out the census suppression policy, we will take that content down.
So you will, there is some threshold where you will fact check political advertisements. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, Congresswoman, yes, for specific things like that, where there's imminent risk of harm.
Could I run ads targeting Republicans in primaries saying that they voted for the Green New Deal?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Would I be able to run advertisements on Facebook targeting Republicans in primaries saying that they voted for the Green New Deal? I mean, if you're not fact-checking political advertisements, I'm just trying to understand the bounds here. What's fair game?
Congresswoman, I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head.
You don't know if I'll be able to do that.
Now, you see, that's the thing, man. I love AOC, but these questions are weird. Like, the essence of it is you can advertise whatever you want. You can literally go to a TV station and run an ad to a group of people. So, for example, we know that Republicans watch Fox. You can go on Fox and advertise a certain thing. They'll fact check you because they have a responsibility to their audience. For Facebook, it's you can run an ad about anything. And if you want Facebook to start fact checking people, then I don't think this was the right question to be asking, because if Facebook has to start fact checking everything, then they're determining what gets advertised to the people, which also could influence an election.
I think probably.
Do you see a potential problem here with a complete lack of fact-checking on political advertisements?
Well, Congresswoman, I think lying is bad, and I think if you were to run an ad that had a lie, that would be bad. That's different from it being, for in our position, the right thing to do to prevent your constituents or people in an election from seeing that you had lied.
So you won't take down lies, or you will take down lies? I think it's just a pretty simple yes or no.
Congresswoman,
I'm not talking about spin. I'm talking about actual
yes, in most cases,
disinformation.
in a democracy, I
Okay.
believe that people should be able to see for themselves what politicians that they may or may not vote for
So
are
you
saying,
won't
and
take
judge
them
their
down.
character for themselves.
So you may flag that it's wrong, but you won't take it down.
Congresswoman, it depends on the context that it shows up. Organic post, ads.
Right.
is a little
One
bit different.
more question. In your
Yeah, nah. See, people gave Mark Zuckerberg a tough time for his time in the Congress. Maybe we should actually react to the whole thing. The question is weird. It's like saying, okay, for example, YouTube. I'm making this video right now, right? You think YouTube will fact check this video before it comes out? Whatever we're talking about right now, they will not fact check it. And then if you're saying, oh, is that YouTube's responsibility to fact check and then take down if I'm lying to you guys about what we're watching, if I was to say this is not AOC, this is Hillary Clinton, so now it's YouTube's responsibility to come down, take down. Yeah, no, it's a free market, right? That the purpose of these organizations is it's a free market. So they won't take it down. The people will be like, yo, what do you mean I voted for a new green whatever stuff she said? Like, nah, come on. Y'all had an opportunity to talk better situations that we find ourselves in rather than this.
ongoing dinner parties with far-right figures, some of who advance the conspiracy theory that white supremacy is a hoax, did you discuss so-called social media bias against conservatives, and do you believe there is a bias?
Congresswoman.
What? Sorry, I missed that one. I'm gonna have to take it back.
There is a bias. Advance the conspiracy theory that white
Congresswoman, it depends on the context that it shows up. Organic post, ads.
Right.
is a little bit different.
One more question. In your ongoing dinner parties with far-right figures, some of who advance the conspiracy theory that white supremacy is a hoax, did you discuss so-called social media bias against conservatives, and do you believe there is a bias?
Congresswoman, so I don't remember everything that was in the question.
That's all right. I'll move on. Can you explain why you've named the Daily Caller, a publication well-documented with ties to white supremacists, as an official fact-checker for Facebook?
Congresswoman, sure. We actually don't appoint the independent fact checkers. They go through an independent organization called the Independent Fact Checking Network that has a rigorous standard for who they allow to serve as a fact checker.
So you would say that white supremacist-tied publications meet a rigorous standard for fact-checking? Thank you.
Congresswoman, I would say that we're not the one assessing that standard. The International Fact Checking Network is the one who is setting that standard.
See, I feel, man, I don't know, man. Like, politicians, they let us down because they are obviously serving themselves because they want to get voted, and then it's all about popularity amongst their constituencies and asking the CEO questions that we speak about, when we're just talking like the things I'd ask Mark Zuckerberg. But I think in this platform that they had with the guy, they had an opportunity to actually have deeper conversations of deeper things that were going on that actually affect societies. I believe the questions that she was asking were unfair. Like if you're asking about the fact checking thing, it's cool. It's the right question to ask. But then his answer is no. It's not us who appoint these people. There's another organization. And then if you're still saying, oh, so you're saying these people meet this rigorous standard, it's not what he's saying. It's not on me. I'm not the one, because there are standards that help her. That's the regulation within the sector, right? So I feel for Zucks, A, he knew how to respond. B, is media trained, and then she was trying to get you. So it's like you have a capitalist versus a politician meeting in the middle, and we got nothing out of this whole video. I don't really think we got anything. Like, you guys let me know in the comment section, like, what do you think? Because I think for Zuckerberg, he answered properly. And then also in saying, like, I don't know. Because the questions is like, listen, if I'm to ask you, yo, where were you when the sun went behind the cloud? You'll be like, I don't know. I don't think about it, like, at the top of my head. But I think that I don't know. Maybe there are better videos that will pop up with better questions that this guy was asked. Because I really feel there's a lot of weird stuff that's happening with these tech companies, and we should start really paying attention to what they're doing, because they're messing up the world. I just reacted to a video where this guy wiped out 152 billion from. I'm like, yo, where did 100? Because the thing is, they just reported 152 billion loss. I'm like, no, 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 no. You don't just lose 152 billion. Where did it go? Like, huh? I did accounting, debit and credit. That's accounting. You don't just lose. Where did that 152 billion go? I'll see you guys in the next one.